Welcome to another video of GoonGamer TV. Today we're going to be reviewing Gotham Knights. And by the way, happy Halloween. So this game came out previously a week ago. I have been playing it, leveling up. The game is actually quite interesting for anyone to play. It's more interesting for multiplayer co-op players who would like to get together and fight off Gotham. As we know, Gotham Knights is a replication of Batman Arkham Asylum and the trilogy of Batman Arkham. So the fighting is pretty much the same as we played in Batman Arkham Asylum. You pretty much can dodge as well. Heavy attacks, light attacks. Your gadgets is going to help you eliminate your enemies in the midst of a battle. As you know, there will be stronger enemies, a lot of effects on certain weapons of enemies as you progress through the game. If you didn't know, in this story, in this saga, Batman is dead. He is dead by the League of Shadows. They pretty much came and took his life. And he was able to send out a beacon to the rest of the squad to help finish up his investigation of the enemies that run Gotham. Now, with that being said, this game is set at a perfect time of what is needed to be able to, take care of enemies and fight enemies and, patrol the city. And as you see, it still has that cinematic view of being able to fight numbers of enemies at one time, projectiles, all types of stuff coming at you in one way. And it's been a long time since we played a game that had all these fundamentals and plan in it, and it's pretty fun. A lot of players don't realize that this game is based off a view of teamwork. A lot of the players don't really like working as a team. They prefer to go solo dolo, but within this game it's different. This is your first person shooter type of game. You have to work to figure out and find the information that is needed, to figure out what is going on in Gotham, what can you do to save it. The fact that every time you step out of your hangout, you have to complete a certain amount of crimes and eliminate crimes, to be able to figure out what Bruce Wayne left behind, so that way you can finish it up. And what I mean by those enemies that run the town and stuff, it seems like that you will be running into a lot of Batman's enemies. So far we have Harley Quinn, so far we have Penguin. It does seem like they are bringing in all these characters to try to help the story out on figuring out what Bruce was onto and what the investigation was leading to, for him to be dead and not be able to stop the League of Shadows from killing him. Now, with this game being out right now, it's probably best to play in a multiplayer settings. I've played multiplayer, it is pretty fun. I've only played a 2-player multiplayer instead of 4 players at the same time. Even with the 2 players, it's still fun to play. This game is one of those cooperative games that all your bros can get up and play together, or y'all can just find something different to play. And that's the main target, it seems like, for this game to be put out, for everyone to protect the city that they love. And like I said, when it comes to certain different enemy battles, you will be faced against big shield guys, big brute women or whatnot, big brute prisoners, that's better, in the game. And you have to figure out what more or what gadgets that you have to be able to take down these certain enemies that comes into the game. And as you can see, I can't do any light attacks. It has to be more of a projectile and dodging. But A little difference in the game that we also, that I didn't share with you is that, within your group, everyone has a different elemental type that they can add to their weapons, add to their suit. You can do cryogenic freeze or fire burns or electric burns. You can equip different type of elements to your suits, to that way when you fighting certain enemies, they won't be able to stagger you or stun you with the elemental with their weapons or their gear. So that's another cool thing. It seems like WB wanted to add a little bit difference to the game than what we played in Batman Arkham. I can feel that, and it makes sense that they would want to, try to expand this game, because I will have to say Batman. I want to say Batman Arkham Knight was probably my favorite Batman. Arkham Knight was probably my favorite Batman trilogy, because that had a lot of bigger moments, in that game of finding and leading investigations and stuff. So with this being, Gotham Knights, you using 4 different other characters to play with, it's pretty fun instead of using your standard Batman to protect the city of Gotham. Now, I played with all 4 characters, Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Batgirl. And like I said, within the nights you must complete crimes to be able to get further into the game. So with all 4 different characters, I would probably have to say my favorite would probably be Red Hood, then Robin. Robin's staff is pretty fun. His like all 4 characters have different weapons, but his staff, his fighting styles is very interesting. I wouldn't expect to use Robin a lot, but I have been using Robin a lot, and he's quite interesting, And then you got Nightwing. He's pretty fun, straight, but I would have to say between the two would probably be Red Hood or Robin. But like I said, you can always switch characters every time you go back to your command center, so that way, for different scenes of the story, can really help you figure out which character that you would like to use throughout the game. And like I said, I play with all of them. It's a pretty fun game. I actually love it. I actually love it more playing with friends that will want to play the game with you. I actually have more fun just casually going out into the city and stopping a lot of crime. But again, the game is really based on teamwork. This isn't Batman Arkham or the other Batman where it's just a single solo game and you just have to find the crime, find the investigation of the crime, and protect the city. In Gotham Knights, you really have to work as a team to be able to have more of a good time and more of a fun time, with you and your friends, to be able to, stop the crime in the city and find out what the reason why Batman was killed and what was the reason why the League of Shadows has attacked Batman in this story. Like I said, the story is very good, the graphics is good, the fighting is good, the cooperative play is good. Really, the game is really good to play. Like I said, if you have friends to play it with, and especially if you have a nice view of the city to look at as well, then you can be able to understand that, hey, this game is actually pretty fun. But it would only be fun if you had a group of friends that would want to play it with you. That would probably be it, because like I said, with Batman Arkham Knight, you just had Batman and you just investigated and figure out what's the next clue, that leads into that investigation. Even with the customizations, the customizations is pretty fun as well. You have to find crafting materials, loot box throughout the city. You have to craft your suit, craft your weapons, to be able to be a stronger foe against all the enemies in the city. Your momentum ability is one of your moves that you can help use to eliminate certain enemies out in Gotham. You will need to pay attention to all this stuff because it will help balance you fighting certain enemies. Just think of the game as Tom Clancy Dark Zone. You know, you don't want to be a low level prospect and then you fight some hard level and then you can't win. So I love the game. I love the style of the fighting, but you know, I would have to only give the game an 8.5 out of 10. It just lacks in certain areas that would make the game fun, but you know, the game is already fun enough, but it's not at his peak